Welcome to Gifted Underachievers, the podcast for mid-level creatives with delusional ambitions. In this segment, coming from the Joe Ponapinto reading room, the Gifted Underachievers discuss judge the work, not the network. Hey Pat,
Yes, James.
it's me, James.
Oh, hi. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm in the Joe Ponapinto reading room
Oh,
with,
Joe.
yeah. Don't we love Joe?
He's so awesome.
He's a good man. He's a good
Yeah.
man. So anyway, we put out a segment
Yes.
about McDowell Colony and virtue signaling, and he wrote back, or he put in a comment that had a phrase that really kind of captured what took us more than 20 minutes to come up with, I think,
Yeah. Yeah.
which was really what places like McDowell and competitions and grants and residencies, everything else should be judging or looking at, and he phrased it, judge the work, not the network.
There's a writer for you, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Bam.
There's marketing. There's an ad man. He's a madman.
That's
He's a
six
madman.
words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, a little definition of what he's talking about in terms of network is not platforms so much as, do you have some list of high impact publishing level individuals you can call on to write references or, back you up in some way, or, riding past glories to outcompete other people for competitive residencies and grants and stuff like that. And really what he's saying is, let's look at the work and let's find ways where and processes for gatekeeping that
Yeah.
really does focus on the work and
Yeah.
the work at hand, not the past associations and the Ivy League and blah 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 blah, that
Right.
kind of
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Joe for that brilliant phrase and, for for knowing that it's just some large venues, let's just call a spade. McDowell is
thing.
just, as Joe says, switching the language of its requirements, not the requirements themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. They're, in one hand, as we noted, trying to democratize access.
Mhm.
And then in the next hand, limiting access
Yeah.
to, certain people, promote certain things. And I think that's great. The other thing about Joe is he's run two literary journals. He's
Yeah.
been a gatekeeper. And, I feel like there's a lot of great ideas out there that have the potential to bubble up,
Hmm.
and there's the possibility of a certain type of transformation that is a little bit more merit-based, egalitarian,
Hmm.
and more open is the possibility, perhaps.
Yeah. And but we're going to keep this short. I guess the question it raises for
Yeah.
me is, given how subjective it art appreciation is, whether it's writing or anything else, uh, how do we judge the work? I guess we judge it
Mhm.
on perceived quality and whether it fits our vibe. So, with, say, a literary journal like the ones Joe established, co-founded, and ran, they have an aesthetic. They have a
Yeah.
particular thing, and so it behooves the sender inner of work to know what that aesthetic is, to have read the journal, read the
Mhm.
stories, understood the editorial vision, and then send in the work that fits with that. And I wonder if
Mhm.
that McDowell needs to learn that lesson. Maybe that they need to make sure that what they actually want in terms of the
Mhm.
work maybe is is being asked for.
Yeah. Well, and that gets into you've got to know the audience, and in this case, a literary journal is the audience, but
Mm-hmm.
also McDowell is the audience. And
Yeah.
they can be a little bit more explicit about, here's our criteria, here's how we judge.
Yeah, that would
Um,
be great.
since they do music, art, I mean, anything creative almost you
Yeah.
can take. I think giving people who are going to apply a little bit more of a heads up as to
Yeah.
here's how we judge quality, you
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
then it helps them too because somebody can read and go, yeah, that's not me.
Yeah,
I don't.
exactly. They get fewer tire kickers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if what they're currently using is a rubric that says, okay, here's all the awards and stuff, check, 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 that we've asked them to submit information on. Here's where they went to school, check, 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 check. And then here's the work. Well, if they remove the rubric that pays attention to all the external validation and just say, here's the work and here's the rubric for the work,
Hmm.
uh, then it seems a lot more democratic. And it removes for them a layer of scrutiny that is probably
Hmm.
easier to check boxes on, but isn't that relevant to their mandate.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's all good. And,
Okay.
and one way to help out is, here's the past grantees for writing and here's the ones for the art and da 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 da. And maybe they do have that on the website, so we, would need to confirm. But I
Yeah.
think generally speaking, that's probably a great way to do it. Or a
Me
helpful.
too.
All right, Joe, thank you.
Thanks to Joe.
Well done.
See you soon.
Thanks for listening to Gifted Underachievers, the podcast for mid-level creatives with delusional ambitions. You can find more valuable insights from Joe Panapinto at the Beyond Craft Substack. It's a wonderful read and well worth the time and effort. Also, we'd love to hear how we're doing, so please leave a comment, join our chat page, or send us an email at giftedunderachievers@substack.com. You can also find us on Spotify, iTunes, and anywhere else you like to download your podcasts. Also, please hit the share and/or subscribe button. It really does help. Thanks, and have an awesome day.